All right, we are continuing with our simplifying using the exponent properties. Example 3, working left to right with the problem, we have these coefficients that we are going to divide. Now, -2 does not divide by 4 because it's too big, so we are going to reduce the fraction. You can divide those both by 2 and you get a -1/2. All right, then we have our a's and you subtract the exponent. Now, anytime you subtract the exponent, the answer goes on top. So a to the 5 minus, there's a 1 right there, is 4. And then when you subtract the b's, 1 minus 3 is a -2. So see how I put that on the top. Now we'd say, oh, that's negative, that has to go to the bottom. So you have 1a to the 4th, which is a to the 4th, oh, -1 or just negative, over 2, and then that b squared comes down. Now, the other approach that I talked about in the last video, so let me go through the problem one more time. You get your -2/4 reduces to -1/2. You subtract the a exponents, 5 minus 1, you get a positive exponent. Positive exponents go in the top. You subtract 1 minus 3, you get a negative exponent, so that puts it in the bottom right away. But when you write it in the bottom, it is a positive exponent because we're skipping the step of bringing that down to get the positive exponent. And I wrote the wrong number. Did you guys notice that? I don't know where my eraser went. Okay, so this, instead of cubed, is +2. All right. Next example. So we have parentheses here with an exponent on the outside. So my suggestion is see if you can simplify inside the parentheses first. If you have any of the same bases that you're dividing, just make that fraction as simplified as you can get it, and then deal with the fact that you're squaring everything. Inside we have a 3, there's nothing to divide it by. We have an x on top and a y on the bottom, so we don't have any common bases, so we're stuck with just going straight to that exponent. Now we have a property that tells us to square everything on the inside. So we square the 3, we square the x, and we square the y. Let me show you what this looks like the long way. You have a 3, you're squaring it. You have an x squared, and you're squaring it, over. You have a y cubed, and you're squaring it. So these right here are going to get multiplied. Those are going to get multiplied. And 3 squared is 9. So that's how you simplify it out, and that's just me kind of showing step by step. So let me talk through it from the beginning. 3 squared is 9. When you square the x squared, because this 2 is on the outside of parentheses, I remember to multiply that, so I get x to the 4th. Over, the y stays on the bottom, but we're squaring that, so you multiply those exponents and you get y to the 6.